Hello and welcome to Vision Academy. My name is Hanmant Ladwa and in this video we are going to consider an array marks of size 20 and 5. So here 20 is representing row and 5 is representing column, which stores the marks obtained by 20 students in 5 subjects. Now write a program to find the average of marks obtained in each subject. B. Find the average marks obtained by every student. C. Find the number of students who have scored below 50 in their average. Now let us write the preprocessor directives. Hash include in angular brace we'll write iostream.h header file, and the next preprocessor directive is hash include in angular brace we'll write console input output.h header file. Now we are going to write void main function curly open brace, and here in a declaration section I'm going to declare all the necessary variables of type integer. Here I'm going to take marks of size 20 and 5, so it is a two subscripted variable. Next I'm going to take the indices I and j. N represent number of students, S represent subject marks. Next we'll go for writing total for calculating total, and then we are going to go for count is equal to 0. Now let us go for declaring one more variable of type double called average, and here we'll write CLR SCR function, which is used to clear the screen. Now we will ask the user to enter the number of students. So using cout stream insertion operator in a double quotation mark I'm going to write enter the number of students, end the double quotation mark and put semicolon, and we are going to receive the response from the user through keyboard using cin stream extraction operator, and here I'm going to take n and put semicolon. So after this we will ask the user to enter the number of subjects using cout stream insertion operator in a double quotation mark I'm going to write enter the number of subjects. So end the double quotation mark and put semicolon, and we are going to receive the response from the user through keyboard using cin stream extraction operator, and here we'll take this variable called s. Now let us ask the user to enter the marks using cout stream insertion operator in a double quotation mark I'm going to write enter the marks. So backward slash n, end the double quotation mark and put semicolon. Now using iterative statement for I is equal to 0, I is less than n, that is less than number of students I plus plus, and the next iterative statement is for j is equal to 0, j is less than s, that is subjects, and j plus plus. Now we are going to receive the input from the user through keyboard. So cin stream extraction operator, and here I'm going to use this two subscripted variable called marks of I and j and put semicolon. Now let us write cout in a double quotation mark I'm going to write average of subjects backward slash n, and here I'm going to take only two subjects. So I'll write subject 1 backward slash t, that is a tab space that provides the horizontal tab. Next subject 2 and then backward slash n, end the double quotation mark and put semicolon. And now we are going to use the iterative statement for I is equal to 0, I is less than s, and I plus plus, because I want to find the average of subjects of each student. So that's the reason we have to take first I is equal to 0, I is less than s, and I plus plus. So curly open brace, and here we are going to set the value 0 to total. Next we'll use iterative statement for j is equal to 0, j is less than n, and then j plus plus. Here we are going to calculate the total is equal to total plus marks of j I and put semicolon. Now we are going to calculate average. All right, average is equal to total divided by number of students. Next we'll go for printing the same using cout, and here I'll write average, and we can have a backward slash t in a double quotation mark and put semicolon and close this opening brace for loop. Next we'll go for cout. In a double quotation mark I'm going to write average of students backward slash n. Here I'm going to write student backward slash t, so it is going to provide a tab space. Then I'll write average backward slash n and the double quotation mark and put semicolon. Now I'm going to use iterative statement for I is equal to 0, I is less than n, and I plus plus. So curly open brace, again set total is equal to 0, and now for j is equal to 0, j is less than s, and j plus plus. Now we are going to calculate total is equal to total plus marks of I j and put semicolon, and now we are going to calculate average is equal to total divided by s. Now we are going to calculate one more point here, so that is if average is less than 50, then the counter has to increment its value by 1. So that's the reason we are going to write here count plus plus. Now I'll write cout. In a double quotation mark I'm going to write backward slash t and stream insertion operator I plus 1 stream insertion operator, and here we'll write in a double quotation mark backward slash t stream insertion operator average, and then stream insertion operator endl, and here we'll put closing brace for this iterative statement. And now we'll write cout stream insertion operator, and in a double quotation mark I'm going to write number of students less than average 50 is, and the double quotation mark here the value will be stored in count, so I'm going to write count and put semicolon. And now we are going to write here get ch function and then curly closing brace. Now let us take an example. So here you can see when we compile and run this program, it will ask the user to enter the number of students. So here I'll write enter the number of students. For example, I'm going to enter only 2 students information. Next it will ask the user to enter the number of subjects. Here I'll write enter the number of subjects. So subjects also I'm going to enter only 2 just for the sake of simplicity, right? Next it will ask the user to enter the marks. Here I'm going to write enter the marks. So just because of this backward slash n, cursor will come down to the next line. Here you can see we have got for I is equal to 0, I is less than n, and I plus plus. So j is equal to 0, j is less than s, and j plus plus. So here this inner for loop will get executed first. So what is the meaning of this? Here when I write the marks, for example, I'll write here 50, then 60, okay, and after that I'm going to enter 2 more marks. For example, here I'm going to write 60 and then I'm going to write 70, for example, right? Yes. So after receiving these 4 marks, 2 subjects, 2 students, because here the row represent the number of students and the column represent the number of subjects. Okay, yes. So here we'll go for average of subjects. So it is going to print average of subjects, and just because of this backward slash n, cursor will come down to the next line and it is going to print subject 1 backward slash t will provide the tab space. So here I'm going to write subject 2, and just because of this backward slash n, cursor will come down to the next line and it is going to print the total marks over here. Yes, so for I is equal to 0, I is less than yes, so it is subject. So subject will be calculated later on, and the number of students will be calculated first. So here it is actually J, correct? Yes, so J is set to 0 because whenever I say two-dimensional array, so it will be mapped in a memory something like this, right? So whose index number is 0 1 0 1. Now J is pointing to row, first row, correct? So I is pointing to first column, so let us say this is I. Here total is set to 0. For J is equal to 0, J is less than N, N is 2, so J is 0, 0 is less than 2, hence it is true. Now we are going to calculate total. So how to calculate total? Here I am going to write total is equal to, for the first time total is what? 0 plus marks of Ji. So first J value will get incremented, correct? So here we have to implement the value of J. J is what? 0. Next I is pointing to 0 only for the first time, right? So which is 50. So here 0 plus 50, that gives us 50. So 50 will be stored in total. So again control transfers to inner for loop by incrementing the value of J by 1. Now J is 1, I was 0, right? Yes. Next we will calculate total is equal to, total is now it is 50, correct? So 50 plus marks of Ji. J is what? 1. Now it is pointing to the next row, and I is what? It is pointing to still 0. So J1 0 consisting of what? 60. So it is going to add 60 to 50. So this gives us 110. Okay, so again control transfers to inner for loop by incrementing the value of J by 1. Now J is 2. 2 is less than 2. No, condition fails. Once the condition fails, then average will be calculated. So here we are going to calculate average. Alright, average is equal to total divided by n. So what is the total now? Total is 110 divided by n is what? 2. So 110 divided by 2 gives us 55. Yes, so this 55 will be printed over here using this cout statement. So here it will be printed as 55. Again control transfers to outer for loop by incrementing the value of I by 1. Okay, now I is 1, J is 0. Again total is set to 0. Now we are going to calculate total once again. So I'll write total is equal to, for the first time total is 0 plus marks of Ji. J is 0, J is 0 and I is 1. So here I is pointing to 1. So J is 0, I is 1 consisting of 60. So 60 plus 0 gives us 60. 60 will be stored in the variable called total. So once again control transfers to inner for loop by incrementing the value of J by 1. Now J is 1, I was also 1, right? Yes, here we can see total is equal to, now total value is 60 plus marks of Ji, that is 1 1, marks of 1 1 consisting of what? 70. So 60 plus 70 gives us 130. Next once again control transfers to inner for loop by incrementing the value of J by 1. Now J value is 2. 2 is less than 2. No, condition fails. Once the condition fails, then this average will be calculated. So here I'll write average is equal to, total is what? 130. So 130 divided by 2. So this gives us 65 will be stored in average, and same will be printed here. So here I'm going to write 65. So once again control transfers to outer for loop by incrementing the value of I by 1. Earlier it was 1, now it is 2. 2 is less than 2. No, condition fails. Once the outer for loop condition fails, then the control directly jumps out of this iterative statement and it is going to execute the next statement. So next statement is what? Average of students will be printed as it is. So here I'm going to write average of students colon, and just because of this backward slash n, so cursor will come down and it is going to print student here. So I'm going to write student, and here you can see backward slash t. So it is going to provide the tab space, horizontal tab space, and it is going to print average and cursor will come down to the next line. So I'm going to write here student tab space average. So cursor will come down and we are going to go through this iteration. Yes. So next, for I is equal to 0, I is less than n, I plus plus. Now total is set to 0. For j is equal to 0, j is less than s, j plus plus. So here this inner for loop will get executed, but that is subject sum, that is total, will be calculated first. Now let us go for I is equal to 0, j is equal to 0 for the first time, and 0 is less than 2, hence condition is true and this particular statement will get executed. So how it is going to calculate? Total is equal to, for the first time total is what? 0 plus marks of ij. So marks of ij, I is what? 0, j is also 0. Here you can clearly identify. Now this is I. So this particular value is I and the column is j. So I is 0 and j is also 0, that consisting of 50. So here I am going to write 0 plus 50 is equal to 50 will be stored in total. So once again control transfers to inner for loop by incrementing the value of j by 1. Correct? Now it is going to point to the next column. So this is j now, right? So j consisting of what? 60. Here I am going to calculate total is equal to 50 plus, here it is marks of ij, that is 0, 1 consisting of 60. Here I'll write 50 plus 60, that gives us 110. Correct? So 110 is stored in total. Now once again control transfers to inner for loop by incrementing the value of j by 1. Now j is 2. 2 is less than 2? No, condition fails. Here once the condition fails, control transfers to the next statement. So it is going to calculate average. We'll write average is equal to, so total is what? 110 divided by s is 2. So 110 divided by 2 is 55. So this 55 will be stored in average, right? Yes. Next, if average, once again, here we are going to check out this condition. If average is less than 50, so it is greater than 50, hence this particular statement count will not get incremented. Here you can see cout /t and I plus 1. So for the first time I is 0, so 0 plus 1 is 1. So here it is going to print 1, student 1, and here you can see /t and average. So what is the value stored in average? 55. So here it is going to print 55. So after this, once again control transfers to outer for loop by incrementing the value of I by 1. Now I value is 1, 1 is less than 2, hence it is true. Total is equal to 0, j is equal to 0. Total can be calculated now. So once again I'm going to write total is equal to, for the first time total is what? 0 plus marks of ij. So here I value is 1, j value is 0. Correct? So this is I value is 1 and j value is 0. So ij consisting of what now? 60. So 60 plus 0 is 60 will be stored in total. Correct? Okay. Next, once again control transfers to inner for loop by incrementing the value of j by 1. Now j value is 1, I value was 1, j value is also 1. So 1, 1 consisting of what? 70. So here once again we are going to calculate total is equal to, now total is what? 60. So 60 plus marks of ij consisting of 1, 1 consisting of 70. So 60 plus 70, this gives us 130, right? So divided by, so we'll keep this total as it is. Next we'll go for again incrementing the value of j by 1. Here it is 2. 2 is less than 2? No, condition fails. Once the condition fails, then average will be calculated. So how to calculate average here? We'll write average is equal to, total is 130 divided by s is 2. So this gives us 65. Yes. So this 65 will be stored in average, and we are going to check out if average is less than 50. No, it is 65, which is not less than 50. Hence this particular increment of the count variable will not be possible, right? Yes. Next, so I value is what now? I value is 1 plus 1, it is 2, correct? So here 2 will be printed. Next, backward slash t gives us tab space and average. So what is the average now? 65. So here I'm going to write 65. Yes. So once again, control transfers to outer for loop by incrementing the value of I by 1. Now I value is 2. 2 is less than 2. No, condition fails. Once the condition fails, immediately control comes out of this looping structure and it is going to execute the next statement. What is the next statement? It is going to print number of students less than average 50 is. Count was not incremented. Hence, it is going to set to 0. So here I am going to write number of students less than average 50, less than average 50 is, count value is 0, right? So this is how we are going to get the output. Let us execute this program. For that, I will take you to my laptop screen.
Here you can see I have already written this program in Turbo C++ compiler to save your time. Let us compile this program by pressing Alt F9. Here it is showing success, that indicates there is no syntax error. I'll press enter. Now let us run this program by pressing Ctrl F9. Here it is asking the user to enter the number of students. I'm going to enter 2. Now it is asking the user to enter the number of subjects. I'm going to enter 2. Now it is asking the user to enter the marks. Here I'm going to enter 50, then 60. And afterwards I'm going to enter 60 and then 70 and press enter. Here you can see average of subjects. Subject 1 is 55 and subject 2 is 65. Average of students, student 1 average is 55, 2 is 65. Number of students less than average 50 is 0. I hope you understood this program. If so, please write down in the comment box as understood. Thank you.